Hundreds of sensors used to collect ocean data will be pulled out of the water in Oregon and across the country. And Fox 12's Drew Reeves is here now with more on the program that's being dismantled and why.
Yeah, that's right. That program includes a network of 900 ocean sensors that are used to collect data on everything from ocean circulation and marine ecosystems to climate and weather information. But the National Science Foundation, which funds the system, says most of it will go dark by next year. The program costs $386 million to establish and operates at a yearly cost of about $48 million. But the Trump administration's 2026 budget included a 55% cut to the National Science Foundation. So instruments will be pulled from the waters off the coast in Oregon, Washington, Alaska, North Carolina, and Greenland. It begins June 16th when a buoy off the Oregon coast gets taken out of the water. Many scientists and some politicians have been critical of this decision, saying the data collected by these sensors is very important.
And now they're trying to remove 900 ocean data collection buoys from the ocean. Tell that to the scientists who work there. Tell that to the people who fish for a living. Tell it to the communities that depend on tourism and visitors. It's crazy. We're going to stop that. NOAA's data and forecasting capabilities are crucial for risk modeling, for early warning, for disaster preparedness.
And the network was built in 2015 and provides information to more than 500 scientific publications. It was intended to be a 25 to 30-year project. A portion of the sensor network is going to stay in place. The University of Washington will continue to manage a seafloor cable network off the Pacific Northwest that provides information on seismic and volcanic activity.